Good Monday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to tonight's top news stories, I need to let you know what's going on here at the NCWLIFE channel as far as personnel. First of all, our general manager and sports director, Eric Granstrom, is currently battling through some pretty serious medical issues, so Eric will be off the air until those medical issues are resolved. And for you Wake Up Wenatchee Valley watchers, host Dan Kuntz is currently taking his yearly planned 2-week vacation, so he will be off that program until the Monday after the Super Bowl. Jasmine Sanchez will continue filling in for Dan in the morning, and I will handle the sports until Dan's return. So that's the update and why you're not seeing some of your favorite people in their normal spots. Now here are a few of the stories that we have coming up for you tonight. A 44-year-old Ephrata man died Sunday night after a single vehicle accident on a county road. The longtime neighborhood diner Dizzy D's will begin serving breakfast starting next week. Rain and mild temperatures are expected tomorrow through Thursday. Your complete weather forecast is coming up. There were no fatalities in a car accident in which a speeding driver crashed into a home on Miller Street today. The crash, which happened shortly after noon, only involved one car. NCWLIFE News spoke with Captain Edgar Reinfeld on the scene of the accident to learn more details.
We were taking a series of calls from people reporting a vehicle that was driving very fast northbound on Miller Street. About the same time we're receiving and processing the calls as they're coming in, keeps updating, and now it's hit possibly several houses. It turns out it hit one house, but hit several fences along with some city infrastructure. There's a street sign down and some other things, and the vehicle ended up ultimately settled out upside down back by Dakota Street behind me. Only one vehicle thankfully hit. Miller's a busy street. They very could have easily got tied up with traffic southbound. Thankfully it wasn't a time where school had just let out and there weren't a bunch of kids around either. So fortunate timing for an incident like this. No fatalities. The driver was conscious when transported to the hospital. We presume they're injured based on the amount of damage to the car, but modern vehicle systems, seatbelts, and airbags do a lot to really prevent serious injury, so we'll have to see on that.
The man wounded by police after allegedly firing gunshots into the Wenatchee Veterans Affairs Clinic is free on his own recognizance. 54-year-old Troy McMaster was released after making his first appearance Friday in Chelan County Superior Court. He still faces charges of assault, malicious mischief, and discharging a firearm for the December 17th incident. McMaster was shot several times by police who stopped his vehicle on Highline Drive after he drove away from the clinic. He remained in medical care for weeks after that shooting. Prosecutors believe he was in the midst of a mental health crisis and says does not appear to pose a threat to the public. He's scheduled to be arraigned next week. A 44-year-old Ephrata man died Sunday night after a single vehicle accident on a county road. The Grant County Sheriff's Office says Gabriel O'Neill was driving a 2003 Dodge Caravan at high speeds north on Road A Northwest. It was about 9:30 p.m. Police says it appears O'Neill attempted to turn west onto Road 12.3 Northwest, about 5 miles south of Ephrata. The van struck a large boulder and landed off the road on its driver's side. Emergency responders extricated O'Neill from the van and attempted life-saving measures, but O'Neill was pronounced dead at the scene. Authorities say he was not wearing a seatbelt. The cause of the crash remains under investigation. When we come back, the Northwest Avalanche Center has confirmed 2 local inbound avalanches that occurred on Sunday. Wenatchee School District Superintendent Corey Kalahar explained why the district chose to announce the closure of Columbia Elementary the way they did. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Now there are even more reasons to meet at the Pybus Market. Outdoor dining and tastings, the fabulous farmers market, Saturday artisans on the concourse, and your favorites all week long. No matter the reason, it's always time to meet at the Pybus Market. Pybus Market, where community meets.
So, how's Evan?
Well, he's all grown up now, but I worry about him.
So many dangers in the world. COVID, the environment, the opioid epidemic.
Yeah, I hear opioid misuse is on the rise.
I don't even know how to start a conversation with him.
This might help. GetTheFactsRx.com. There's a whole section on how to talk about opioids with your family.
Offer support, not judgment. Cool.
Talk to your family about the dangers of opioids. Visit GetTheFactsRx.com.
The Northwest Avalanche Center has confirmed 2 local inbound avalanches that occurred on Sunday. The first avalanche occurred around noon at Mission Ridge Ski and Board Resort when it was reported to the NWAC by a skier. According to a statement from the Mission Ridge Ski Patrol, the avalanche occurred on the Nertz Run, and 3 guests were in the area when the slide occurred, but no one was buried. The other avalanche took place on Solstice Crust near Stevens Pass and was triggered by a skier. No injuries were reported, but Stevens Pass has limited terrain to be extra cautious. On Friday, January 19th, the staff of Columbia Elementary were informed by district officials that their school would be closing. The shock announcement led to 2 packed meetings last week, one of which was a school board meeting that parents, teachers, and Columbia staff filled to capacity. Wenatchee School District Superintendent Corey Callahar sat down with NCWLIFE's Jordan Gonzalez last Thursday and explained why the district chose to announce the closure in the way that they did.
We had some things that happened internally in our system that escalated the need for us to talk to Columbia Elementary sooner than we were prepared to. And so that situation we're still dealing with, and it started a very painful approach to this process.
State law requires that a school board adopt a policy that includes a 90-day period before a final decision is made to close a school. Mm-hmm. And in that 90 days, there needs to be a public hearing. The decision to announce the closure before the 90 days seems a little backwards. Why were staff notified of the closure before that 90-day period?
Well, because of the previous question, what I mentioned internally, we had to let our staff know very quickly what was happening in case they would to hear about it from other places or other means. We did not want that to happen. We also wanted to get that information out quickly because of the magnitude of the budget situation that we're in, and felt that there was still enough time left in the school year for us to enact the 90-day period and all of the obligations that are necessary there. This morning we've been triangulating on a couple of dates. We'd like to do 2 public hearings as opposed to just 1, so that we can hear from our community, and maybe it doesn't go quite as late as it did the other night, and we can get to a venue where everyone can fit inside and actually be comfortable and hear all the concerns and comments.
Why were parents not informed the same day as the staff?
We delivered a press release about 24 hours, well, a little less than 24 hours afterward. But the goal of Friday's meeting was to get ahead of our staff communication so that they would not be impacted as dramatically as they might if they heard it from other colleagues or social media sources. And then we want to get that information out to the rest of the community. So we have intentionally, we didn't get to our parents in time, and that's hard.
Whose decision was it to tell the staff that the school would close?
The school closure decision came from the school principal and myself.
And how involved was the school board in making this decision?
The school board was aware of the plan that the school district had put into place, and they knew that they were going to be deciding on the plan later on.
The language of the press release sounded as though the decision was final. Mm-hmm. I think as far as Columbia's staff knew on Friday, the decision was final. You were quoted in the press release saying it is the right decision. And the press release says students and staff will be reassigned to other neighboring schools. Was there a final decision made at the time of the press release?
No, the final decision that was made was the district's plan for reducing the budget for 24-25. So that was it came across a little bit more final than it was, and the idea that the school board will ultimately vote on that in May will be the actual reality.
And just to reiterate, as far as the board and the district are concerned, has a final decision been made?
No.
In Digital Media Arts program, we learn about video production gear and editing by the combination of class projects and nonprofit work and employment.
It makes things happen.
Yeah.
It's pretty magical.
We work in the industry at the Wenatchee Round, NCWLIFE channel, and the Town Toyota Center events. Every day we work with industry standard equipment for a hands-on learning experience.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Well, one way to tell that spring is approaching, the apple blossom royalty begins to bloom. Selection takes place a week from Saturday on February 10th for the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival, Queen and Her Court. NCWLIFE's Stan Kuntz sat down to speak with all 10 of the top competitors. We start off tonight with royalty candidate Danya Cuevas Sandoval. She's the daughter of a Wenatchee City Council member. And Dan asked her about her own legacy of public service.
My classes have been so fun this quarter. I really enjoyed. I've been taking chemistry, biology, and political science at the college. And every Friday I have my biology labs, and then chemistry I have them online. As well as Friday, I do have one today for chemistry. Yeah.
But I don't have to write a note for your teacher, right?
No, it's okay.
So let's go back to November 6th, the mandatory meetings. You have to go to these meetings, and you have to bring a parent or a guardian, and Darcy spills it all out. This is, if you're going for it, this is what you can expect.
Yeah.
Any hesitation? Did you think maybe I don't want to do this, or did you always want to do this, or was it a last second decision to go ahead and go for this?
I feel like it was just nerve-wracking, like hearing like so many like things that we have to do and how much time it is. But I feel like I always wanted to do this. I always wanted to represent my community, and especially right now. And the fact that this is like a one-time opportunity that I get to do, you know, this is probably just a good thing, you know, exciting. I was just excited. I was just telling myself that I kept being excited.
And now you're in the top 10.
Yes.
So going all the way back to November for the mandatory meeting, and then you go through all that stuff, and then the speeches, and now you're in the top 10, and we're closing in on pageant. It's almost here. What have you learned about yourself that maybe you didn't know about yourself back in November?
I would probably say that I didn't know about November. I guess all the things I couldn't do, I guess being on stage, I never thought that I could actually do it. In a way, I told myself, like, just look at the lights. Don't look at the people, because if you look at the people, that's when you're going to get more nervous. I mean, I had to look at the judges at a point, and I did, but when we got to meet them, we got to say, like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. You know, that gave me a more sense of, like, they're just people, you know? They're just here to watch me. They're here to listen to what I have to say. And I feel like I'm proud of myself for actually doing this and being open to myself, because I'm a person that tends to be, how do you say it, an introvert in a way. And like this year I'm very proud of myself that I got to be out of my shell and like more extrovert.
You can't do this and be an introvert. You can't be a wallflower and make the top 3. You just can't.
Yeah.
It's amazing what you can do if you have to do it. It's just, that changes your whole mindset.
And this whole process is just like, they've been so grateful. I mean, I've been so grateful and excited for all these chaperones that they've helped us. I'm just really
You mentioned judges. On Saturday, the 10th, you're going to be judged all day. It's a daylight. It's 10 hours of you being judged by people who judge people.
Yeah.
Are you prepared for that? Are you comfortable being judged, I guess is the right way to say it?
In a way, I'm excited, but I'm also nervous. Like, it's just, I mean, you're being judged, you know? Like, what can you say? It's like, what you have to say, it's really what they're going to judge you on. And I feel like I'm kind of prepared, you know? I'm like taking, like studying a little bit, you know, of our, I mean, not that I don't know things about our valley, but get to know a little bit more of our valley. It's really wonderful, yeah.
When the day is done in your world, your homework is done, you don't have any obligations to anybody, nothing's being asked of you, house is clean, room's clean, whatever. What do you do for your center of gravity, to be you, just being you, being you? What do you do? Do you read a book? Do you listen to music? What do you...
You know, this is gonna sound funny, but I love to take naps. Like naps to me are very relaxing, very therapeutic, and throughout the day I'm just so tired. Like I don't know. I feel like to me I just need a nap, and once I just take my nap, I wake up. I'm like, it's like a new day to me.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a great weekend. Boy, we had a little bit of a break from the wet stuff, and especially yesterday turned out to be a pretty fair day, even with the clouds, and we had plenty of those today as we look down at the Wenatchee Valley from our Omi Garden Sky-Fi Tower camera. A lot of patchy fog around the area, and we even started off the day with some of that misty rain, and it looks like more of that could be in our forecast too. More rain is definitely in our forecast. That will begin tomorrow. We'll see some light rain showers on Tuesday into Tuesday night, and then I think Wednesday is our best chance for all-day rain here in the Wenatchee area. Thursday and Friday, just some cloudy skies with maybe some scattered showers, and by the time we get into the weekend, just some cloudy skies for us. I think this is more for Spokane this weekend, although we will see some cooling temperatures, so enjoy these 40s over the next few days while we still have them. All right, taking a look at what we can expect going into our extended outlook. This is from February 6th through February 12th, and it looks like as far as temperatures go, maybe just slightly below where we should be for this time of year, but all in all, temperatures will be about normal for the first 12 days of February. And then as far as precipitation goes, right here in the Pacific Northwest, we will be near normal. But boy, we're doing pretty good as far as precip goes right now. We are at 1/8 of an inch above where we should be for this time of year, and we haven't been above in a while. We're now at 1.01 inches, so that's good news as the precipitation keeps coming, and as long as that snowpack stays in the mountains. Nice day today too. 41 degrees, our unofficial high temperature. Our normal for this time of year is 36, and our record 53 degrees set in 1974. 34 our low this morning, 9 degrees above 25, which is normal for this time of year. Boy, cold record low from 1969 at 9 below zero. Sunrise this morning, 7:31, and sunset just a few minutes before 5 o'clock now at 4:57. Taking a look at what we can expect getting into Tuesday. Check out some of these temperatures near 50 for Moses Lake and Ephrata on Tuesday, 47 for Quincy, and then quite a bit cooler from a line from Ellensburg all the way up into Omak. But I'll tell you, all areas east of the Columbia Basin, including the Spokane area, will see temperatures in the 50s. We'll see mainly lower 40s for Wenatchee, Eniat, Chelan, and up into Omak. Cool spot tomorrow, Lake Wenatchee with a high temperature of 39. Taking a look at tonight, areas of fog out there. We are seeing the area of low pressure that will bring us the rain beginning to slide closer to the northwest. It's going to bring a steady flow of clouds our way tonight, maybe a misty rain shower or two. Temperatures in those low 30s for Tuesday. Yeah, there it is, and it's a good sized storm. 60% chance of rain. We'll see a pretty persistent area of shower activity right through central Washington. High temperatures on Tuesday, as I mentioned, in the low 40s, upper 40s for the Columbia Basin, and then that storm will really make itself known on Wednesday. Pretty much rain showers statewide as that system system parks itself off the Washington coast. We'll stay on the mild side too, maybe even a little bit warmer with highs in the low to mid 40s for Thursday. There is that low pressure and it's just not moving that much. It's going to continue to bring us clouds and a 70% chance of rain all up and down the west coast. We're going to warm up a little bit Thursday as well with highs solidly in those mid 40s. So temperatures will be nice by the end of the week. And then for Friday, mostly cloudy skies. Will stay mild. Most of the showers either to our west or east or to our west. We'll see highs again above normal in those mid Fridays. And then getting into the upcoming weekend, high pressure is trying to work its way into the northwest. That'll bring us some partly cloudy skies. We'll stay fairly mild with highs kicking off our weekend in the low and mid 40s. And then for our Sunday, that low pressure that's been here for about 3 days will slide to Southern California and bring that area of the west coast some rain. Just some scattered showers for us on Sunday. A little bit cooler too with high temperatures then in the upper 30s. All right, taking a look at your 7-day forecast. 32 overnight tonight. And here is our rainy period. Tuesday right through Thursday. Notice the temperatures though, very nice, low to mid 40s. And then things will dry out a bit this weekend. We'll stay mild, even a peek at the sun on Saturday and 43. And then by the time we get into the end of the weekend, Sunday, mostly cloudy, a slight chance for a rain or snow shower. High temperatures then of 39. And that's a look at your north central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, I'll have your sports report as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Around here, Jack Frost nips more than just your nose. That's why people here drive Honda. Dependable all-wheel drive with traction control, with heated steering wheel and seats to keep Jack Frost off your seat, which will make it very happy. And since it's no fun to fill up in this weather, isn't it cool that Honda is known for legendary fuel efficiency? Great deals are here now, and so is Mr. Frost. So see your Inland Northwest Honda dealer today. Honda can handle it.
Well, the participants for Super Bowl 58 were selected Sunday with the crowning of the AFC and NFC Conference champions. Kansas City will get a chance to defend its title after downing Baltimore for the Lamar Hunt Trophy 17-10. The Chiefs' defense was key in the victory, holding Lamar Jackson in check while forcing an interception and 2 fumbles. Meanwhile, the Chiefs will face San Francisco after the 49ers erased a 24-7 halftime deficit into a 34-31 victory over Detroit. Christian McCaffrey scored 2 of San Francisco's 3 rushing touchdowns, while Brock Purdy outdueled Jared Goff for the win. The Chiefs and Niners will meet in Las Vegas for Super Bowl 58 on Sunday, February 11th, and that's at 12:30 on CBS. Also, let's check the Les Schwab College basketball scoreboard from the weekend. Eastern Washington men's team picked up an 85-70 win over Northern Arizona Saturday. Washington State knocked off Colorado 78-69, while Washington downed Utah 98-73. Gonzaga was also a winner in WCC play by a score of 82-73 over Pacific. In women's college basketball Saturday, Eastern fell in overtime to Northern Arizona 89-81. 17th ranked Gonzaga beat San Francisco 73-58. The Seattle Kraken improved to 7-5 in February with a 4-2 victory over Columbus on Sunday. Seattle jumped out to a 3-0 lead over the visiting Blue Jackets at Climate Pledge Arena and then held on for a 4-2 win. Jordan Eberle scored his first of 2 goals over midway through the first frame for Seattle. The Kraken hit the road for San Jose on Tuesday at 7:30 on Root Sports The Wenatchee Wild finished the weekend 1-1 in WHL play after a loss Friday and a win yesterday. Friday's game at the Town Toyota Center went the way of the visiting Seattle Thunderbirds 6-3. The T-Birds jumped out to a 2-0 lead before Wenatchee countered with a goal late in the second and early in the third to tie it. Seattle countered with four more goals in the period to go on for that victory. Meanwhile, Sunday was a different story, with the Wild jumping out to a 3-0 lead on visiting Prince George. The Cougars countered to tie the game, with it finally being determined in a shootout 5-4 in favor of Wenatchee. It was Briley Wood's second hat trick for the Wild this season. Wenatchee heads for Kamloops Friday to face the Blazers at 7:30. Turning back to Friday in Big 9 boys basketball in a game that was broadcast right here on the NCWLIFE channel, Eastmont cruised to a 73-40 win over Wenatchee. Moses Lake topped Sunnyside 65-62. In CWAC play, Ellensburg edged Ephrata 42-38. In Caribou Trail League, Omak beat Cascade 76-44, while Kashmir topped Okanagan by a score of 54-43. And other boys scores from Friday, Livingstone Adventist beat Cascade Christian 56-51. Moses Lake Christian thumped Thorpe 73-12. Lake Roosevelt beat Liberty Bell 72-66. It was Brewster over Oroville 78-26. Waterville Mansfield edged Eniat 55-44. Curlew cruised past Pateras 86-53, and Soap Lake slipped by Riverside Christian by a score of 67-54. Well, here's what the Les Schwab Prep girls basketball scoreboard looks like from Friday. Eastmont beat Wenatchee 69-23. Moses Lake doubled up Sunnyside 62-31. Ellensburg down Ephrata 70-36. Zilla got by Chelan 59-38. Omak beat Cascade 37-21. And Okanagan down Kashmir by a final score of 61-37. For the smaller schools Friday in girls basketball, Lake Roosevelt rolled Liberty Bell 57-33. Brewster pounded Oroville 82-9. Cascade Christian got by Auburn Adventist 41-23. Waterville Mansfield shut down Eniat 65-24. Curlew caught Pateras 42-37, and Soap Lake eased by Riverside Christian by a final of 61-19. Well, the Eastmont boys continued its winning ways Saturday with a 61-55 win over Sunnyside. Davis beat up Wenatchee 85-28. Eisenhower edged Moses Lake 74-69. Ephrata earned a narrow 61-58 win over Othello. Waterville Mansfield nipped Bridgeport 63-60, and Cascade Christian beat Walla Walla Valley Academy by a final score of 57-42. Now on to the girls' slate from Saturday. It was Eastmont over Sunnyside 78-43. Davis trounced Wenatchee 78-17. Moses Lake shut down Eisenhower 59-23. Ephrata dumped Othello 49-28. Liberty Bell got by Quincy 41-31. Waterville Mansfield beat Bridgeport 55-19, and Gem State Adventist topped Cascade Christian 35-33. Well, the Wenatchee and Eastmont bowling teams advanced to state on Friday. After a back-and-forth regular season, the Panthers edged the Wildcats for the district championship at Eastmont Lanes on Friday. Wenatchee accumulated 3,812 pins over 3 games, while the Wildcats had 3,752 to finish second. High bowler for the Panthers was Ava Porter with a 256. Eastmont's Jillian Castle had a 198. And that is a look at sports. And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at ncwlife.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great night.